Dice Age is made possible thanks to the support of our patrons. Thank you very much, and enjoy the show.
The Empire of Maca has existed for nearly 1,000 years. Founded and ruled by Ava the Main, the immortal empress, it quickly expanded its borders thanks to the overwhelming power of its mages and the shrewd politics of its nobles. Now it has fully conquered the centre of the continent of Elmera, and although war has ended, peace still eludes its populace. As the Empire nears its first millennia, the signs of turmoil have become more frequent and apparent. Monsters are becoming more bold, nobles plot schemes of usurpation, and whispers of rebellion hang heavy in the slums. This gave rise to the adventurer. These strong individuals of all races and classes lend their might to the citizens of Maca to drive back monstrous incursions. There are even adventurers who perform deeds so noble that the people can see beyond their race to the hero that lies within. There are those who criticise these adventurers and claim they're nothing more than pawns used to advance the political machinations of nobles. Despite the immortal Empress herself making fewer and fewer appearances, there are those whose faith in the Empire remains unshaken, but the wise know that it only takes a few sparks to ignite the flames of change. Allow me to introduce you to these sparks. Welcome to Elmera.
Hello and welcome to Dice Age, an actual play D&D show. My name is Jack and I'm the Dungeon Master. Along with me as always are our wonderful adventurers. Would you all please go around and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm AJ and I play Edgar Wood, the half-elf blood hunter.
Hi, I'm Alice Rose and I play T, the elven sorceress.
Hey, I'm Mitchell and I play Essa Reyes, the human rogue.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm going to be playing Tauros, your tiefling paladin.
Hello, I'm Trey, and I will be playing not Oberon Perseus Maximus Germanius Cornelius Alexander Claudius II. I will instead be playing Finn, your half-orc cleric.
He had to say it still. He still had to get
He
it.
found a way to squeeze it in. All right, well, some stuff happened in the last episode, if I remember correctly. Who wants to give us a little rundown, a little pat down, a little explanation, a little swishy swashy?
Guys, I know the whole AI thing didn't go well, but I still fully believe we need to stay on the bleeding edge of what's popular. Because we played this game, we make this show for one reason, not for fun, but to make money. And there's one way to make money, and that's one word, blockbuster, baby. So here's what we're gonna do. I've got some clips of things you guys have said in the past. I worked with my editor, and I created an action movie trailer for us, all right? This is it. Screw the show, screw YouTube. We're going big screen. We're talking Scorsese. Talking my cousin, who will be a whole lot cheaper than Scorsese. But I want you guys to listen. I want you to dream big as we listen to this as the future of Dice Age.
Has Scorsese made an action blockbuster?
Are you guys getting paid?
You could.
In a world where Elven Dominus masks terrible secrets in the line between monster and man is even more blurred than before, 5 brave heroes seek to escape the Empire's clutches in the name of one thing: freedom.
Great-grandfather Claudius, I figured out your secrets. Leave Annie and my friends alone. Or else.
Fine, Oberon. But you'll never use my name again.
Don't worry, friends. I'm coming.
Oh, no you don't. Unfortunately, you'll be giving them the cold shoulder.
No! My friends, Annie, Woon, I'm sorry.
Ooh, a party of heroes, incomplete.
Where is he?
He's gone, Edgar.
I hate you.
I know.
A sister lost, and more alone than ever before.
Is it really my great-great-grandpa hunting me?
It is, dear. But I swear he will never hurt you.
I just want my brother back.
We all do. We all do.
Goodbyes written, but never said.
He wrote us all letters. He told us to take care of each other. Guess he forgot that includes him. What's the plan?
I guess we have to take a ride on the monstrous side.
It's a Planin then. We've got a brother to save.
Brilliant treks across the Linane forest, the hunt for food for survival, relying on old talents and new.
Oh shit, I'm magic now.
The goal? Save Oberon. The heroes? Exhausted. The allies? Many old and one new.
Hey, Quentin, let's go.
Find out the fate of the Empire in The Dice Agers 2, Dawn of Oberon.
Well, that was certainly an interesting trailer, AJ. I have to give it to you that was interesting.
You can say it, visionary, luminary. I know. But we got an episode.
Dysentery.
Mm-hmm. I'll go with Trey on this one. But anyways, it's time to drink some dirty well water and return to the world of Elmera. All right. So you find yourselves at the river bordering the Fledaean jungle, having just met this new traveler, Ben, and his foldable boat.
All right. Boat time.
Yeah, Ben's just sitting there. He's kind of like, after expanding the boat, just kind of like after talking with you all, just, well, are you going to get on with it or what? The boat's right there.
Sure. And T will get in.
Same.
All right. So, as Fen knows, and as I'm showing you all now on our little map, the base of where the Monstrous Alliance is actually the far south of the Fledaean jungle. And the river will actually be taking you on a pretty much direct path down there. Because the flow of the current of the river is going down southward from the mountains of Ghoul, you will actually be moving faster than if you were just walking the distance. You're moving at a speed of almost 6 miles per hour, as opposed to your base normal walking pace of 3. So where it would normally take you 1, 2, 3, or it would normally take you another 14 days to get down to where the monster base is. Because of this boat and the current, it'll only be taking you 7.
Cool.
Nice. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you're all flowing down, so like you're going to be heading down. You will still need to make survival checks to try to forage for food.
No, they will not.
Oh, right. Sorry.
As we're on the boat, Ben just kind of looks around, and you see he's just like looking around. He's like, oh, "Where's okay?" And you see him take his Let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah, there we go. You see him just kind of begin. This is like the first day we're here. He's taking just like whatever, like he pulls out like a bag that he's had on his side, and he just starts taking out like branches of like trees that seem to have just been thrown together. Like he takes out a bit of rope and he just kind of like piles them all together. and you see him just kind of do that, and then he just like takes a knee down in front of it, and it's just like, all right, and he just takes his hands and grabs each side of the pile, and like almost looks like he's applying pressure on either side. And as he does, like it's over the course of like 10 minutes, but you see his gauntlets begin to like glow like this, like it almost looks like a red hot, and then it goes into like a yellow, and then like a green, and then like almost like these mini prismatic colors as he like forces this pile together. And you watch as it gets forced closer and closer together. You watch as the raw materials eventually seem to form into like a decently sized barrel, almost as if all the materials have been pushed and formed together. As he's going to cast fabricate.
Oh
Nice.
shit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Then as soon as that's like put together, he's just gonna stand over it, and then putting his hand over it, create food and water. And you
Absolutely.
see
Oh
just
yeah.
pretty like it looks like pretty bland bread, like dried fruits and some like rations. And like as he just forms them all together, he just turns to the rest of you all and just, all right, this should last us for a while now.
Damn, that's really helpful. Thanks.
He
Yeah.
just nods. Oh, Uh, take what you will. I can do that every day, Jack. So we can say that
Yeah.
I just do that for the
Yeah.
day's resources. But after I do that, if the first day goes by kind of uneventful, while the ship's kind of going down after everybody's got settled, Finn's going kind of like just like if everybody's kind of like gathered around, like it's not a huge boat. It's
It's
got
not,
enough
but
room, but it's
so
not like
the thing is that if you guys want, you can try to sit in the boat and just let the current take you, but if you're sleeping in the boat, you're going to run the risk of like
Mhm.
crashing into rocks or stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
you can beach
Yeah,
the boat at the end of the day and like take your rest and stuff like that.
that's
Set up
probably
camp.
Mhm.
smart
Yeah.
move. But, at the end of the day, after we've, like, settled in and there's a fire going, then it's just gonna turn to the rest and be like, "Alright, let's just start this."
Our stories?
Yeah, you seem like a pretty mishmashed bunch, if you don't mind me saying. Kinda all over the place, if I'm being honest, and, well, if Planin sent me here to find y'all, I'm guessing, you're pretty important. And his eyes kinda, like, wander over each of you, and then as his eyes get to Tauros, especially if you're keeping certain company.
Well, I think you're right about us being mismatched. We I hope you understand we're not going to be very forthcoming with details. But
That's fair.
we are a group of adventurers who find ourselves in need of closure, shall we say. I think that's accurate, don't you all?
Hmm.
Yeah.
We
Mm.
both owe we both owe Planin and would like to beseech him.
Mm, fair. I understand that. I was asking a bit much, I don't know how he's not a bastard, but he can sure clamp up when he needs to, and, we'll see how it goes. Ugh. And he kinda, like, takes his helmet off, and you see that his hair is just pretty, like, shaved off on the sides and just kinda, like, goes down to his shoulders over the top, just, "Well, as I said before, name's Finn. Uh, haven't been here much longer than you all have, but hoping that I can at least provide this service well." If you don't mind me asking, and he's just going to kind of like prop his arms up on his knees, kind of look, and then he looks directly at you, Tauros. What's a dog of Madeir doing all the way out here? Eh?
Actually, that kind of eases his mind a little bit. Because what I was going to describe, when he first kind of said that towards him, he kind of like his face kind of stone faced because he was like, "Oh, cool, I'm being race coded by the half orc. Awesome, good, good, good. I thought these were the people that were going to help me, but that's how it's going to be. That's cool." I'm being like,
Oh, that's not why he hates.
and then he was like,
me.
"Oh,
He's not racist.
It's not racist. He just hates your god.
there is I don't even know, like there's a little bit of a slack in his shoulders when he hears that of like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And you see him just kind of take a deep breath and just kind of huff it out. I'm just trying to fix my life.
Well, you got a pretty long way to go, especially with. Well, I'm sure I don't need to tell you of all the glories of Madeir while you listen to them. But, if you want my opinion, keep the symbol hidden when we get to camp.
I was already planning on it.
Good. Maybe you're not as lost as the rest of them then.
He
Any-
like,
Go.
oh, sorry. Yeah, Taurus
No,
just
go.
like he looks like he wants to ask and like ask more, but he kind of bites his tongue and he'll just go back to cleaning his sword.
Well, there's someone who has no control over what he's
Yeah.
going to say. So Edgar's ready. So, what's your deal, Ben? We've seen some pretty cool magic, and you seem to have a connection to no better words come to mind with Madeir.
Oh,
What's your deal?
an absolute feeling of disgust and apathy. Yeah, I usually give that to most of the Elmera pantheon, if I'm being honest.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's just say in my time in need, prayers were said, and they were answered in ways that didn't exactly spark the fires of faith, let's say.
What god do you follow then? Well, we don't know your cleric, do we?
You can make an
Well,
Arcana check to see if you know the kind
would
of
that be
spells.
Arcana? Yeah.
I'm saying like people who have observed your spellcasting can make an Arcana
Can
check
I make
to
a religion
discern,
check?
or religion check. Yes.
Because I do have the armor jack, so
Yeah. Either
I'll
or.
do-
7.
Not one. Probably don't notice.
17.
Damn.
Oh shit.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Let's
So
go.
Edgar got a 17 Arcana, and Oberon got a 22 Religion. Edgar.
Oberon?
Oberon's
Oh,
back.
Tauros. Wow. Uh,
I'm back, baby, and I'm Oberon.
no. So
Zach's backup character is Trey's old character.
right. So Edgar, you get a read on like trying to like discern his magic. You aren't. You are able to get the sense of this is divine magic. This is not this is not the kind of magic that is used. The way that he uses his magic, it comes from a divine source, is what you get. As opposed to an arcane source or a innate source. Tauros with a 22, you can tell, obviously, from what he said, this is not magic, divine magic that comes from the Sylvanus pantheon. Unfortunately, you would need a 26 or higher to just tell just from what he did,
Exactly.
what deity it comes from, though.
Yeah, but we know it's like a clerical divine energy.
You do know
Or
that it's
paladin.
a divine
or paladin.
magic.
Taurus kind of like thinks for a second as he kind of like fixes himself in his seat, kind of like a little more into the conversation than before. Did you or have you known other followers of Midir?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely did. They
Mm.
were always usually the most thorough when it came to making sure people stayed in line when I grew up. So had a few good instances with those. Can't say I've met a good one yet, if I'm being honest. Can't say that about most people from the Empire, if I'm being fully truthful. So you all seem reasonable enough, but you can understand that I'm holding some judgments related.
I think we've all lived in the Empire long enough to understand that sentiment.
You say that, T, and like, uh, Annie kind of looks at you like, give me a little insight check, real quick.
Yeah.
Can I also? Because I was right next to Annie.
Yeah.
I'd be next to Annie.
11.
18.
18. Yeah, 18. Annie doesn't look. Annie looks a little
Uncomfortable?
uncomfortable about that.
Yeah.
She's not like straight up like, "Oh, my brother's friends hate me," but she is like, "Well, oh, like she
I'm
hasn't
gonna.
fully
Yeah.
onboarded all that."
If I catch this, I'm just gonna squeeze her hand and give her a look of like, "Hey, we'll talk later." Just be like, "I I see you nodding." Be like, "We'll talk."
She kind of nods. You also can see with an 18 insight, like, uh, uh, Caster is not a fan of this guy. Not so much of like a, I don't trust him, just like a, he talks loud and he does not watch what he says. And Annie's a child and she's not gonna understand the whole context of things.
Mhm. Yeah. Do I get the look that Caster is probably sending my way?
Give me an insight check.
Okie dokie.
27.
As a 27.
Yeah, with a 27, you can tell like Caster's not so much shooting you a dirty look because it's like you're doing them a favor, so he's not going to be like fuck you about it, but he is like kind of like giving you a look of like, hey man, she's a child.
Hmm. Upon seeing that look, um, Finn's gonna like see it, turn to the kid, and just like almost for the first time be like, and like not a look of like shame or embarrassment, but of a look of like, oh, I, and he's gonna kind of be like, yeah, and he just kind of like gives a nod to Caster of like, okay, I'll tone it down.
Gotcha.
Ugh. Yes, but that's yeah. No, I don't have the greatest of history. We'll put it like that. In the Empire for, and like he almost like starts to count his hands. What's it been, about 10 years now? Give or take a couple.
Where were you when you were in the Empire, if I may ask?
Oh, oh, just one of the good old classic orphanages, if you will.
Edgar's like, Tauros, look!
Alice, you're
Alice,
muted.
Tauros!
you were muted.
Alice, you're muted.
Fuck, I was trying not to be too typey when I was typing. I just said, a vintage I've sampled myself.
As if I.
Taurus sounded so enthusiastic about that.
As
Oh
a
yeah,
boy.
he was so happy
Uh-huh.
about that.
That's a weird way to put it.
Yes. But got out and been on my own. Well, been out ever since. Well, any questions that you all may have for me regarding well, anything, the camp, me, I'll see if I can answer if I feel like it.
We appreciate that.
All right.
And
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry if we're a little on edge. It's been a rough couple days for us. Nothing against you, but as T said, it's all kind of new for
I
us.
I think I can pick up a couple of signs. Tell you what. Hey, uh, and like he's kind of like Rex's brain for a minute. Dalos,
Taurus.
Dalos. Me and you will take first watch.
Sounds good to me.
All
I
right.
lean over to Essa. He's not gonna kill Tauros, right?
He
I mean,
he
we'll
still
see.
has like this like he has a he wants to ask Fen questions, but like he seems like he's really holding his tongue, and it almost seems like more he wants to hold his tongue so he doesn't ask it in front of everyone else.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
Yes.
he's hiding from Finn, but he actually looks more like he's like kind of like glancing over at the others, like he doesn't want to say it in front of them.
Are you doing anything to try to hide this?
He can try, but Taurus is not good at
Yeah,
hiding his feelings.
give me a cute little deception
Well,
check.
That'll be real cute.
Just
yeah,
a-
there it is.
yeah, it's a cute little 9 on that deception
You don't
check.
mind.
It's
Uh,
adorable, man.
I guess.
Jack, my
Would this be
passive
our
is
passive?
like
Insight from a
18.
childhood
Would this be our-
friend.
Oh,
Yeah, would this be our passives, Jack, or are we rolling for?
I'd say it would be passive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unless you have a
Okay.
negative wisdom modifier, you're gonna see it.
Good.
I see.
But yeah. So if you guys want to just pack it in for the night, yeah, we'll see that little moment between Tauros and Ben.
So as like they get set the watch up and everything, and everybody's like retired and everything, and doesn't say anything for like the first like half hour or anything. You see, actually, just like kind of like Tate, his helmet's still by his side, and he almost seems to be just like adjusting like certain bits of his armor, like just
mhm.
making sure they all lock into place. And as he's doing this, like it's like 30, 45 minutes into the watch, he hasn't said anything. And then he's just gonna look at you and be like, oh, for fuck's sake, get it out. I can see that you're trying to bite your tongue.
He's definitely like while he's been working, he's been like cleaning his sword and like kind of cleaning his armor. Like he's a little like almost like startled as like he's trying to like piece the words in his head, and he just kind of shakes his. Have you ever met someone who's abandoned their faith before?
Oh, are you speaking like faith as in faith in what? You've got to be much more specific than
His
that, Toro.
nose kind of like his nose furls as he kind of just like almost disgustedly like this like pulls out the paladin of Midir, like his holy symbol. This thing.
Ah, that one in particular, we haven't really, no. Not for lack of trying on my view, but the followers of Madir don't really take well to people who turn their back on them. But if you're asking if I've ever seen somebody lose faith or change their faith from a god, yes, I have.
If you had the chance to change your faith.
There it is. There's the
I
one
was
for this
thinking
episode.
that.
Man, that threw me off. I don't even remember what he was gonna say.
Sorry. No. I saw the opportunity and I jumped.
He took it. He went for it.
He
He's
shot
kinda
his
like-
shot.
Listen, this is what happens when we let the fuck it we ball mentality go too hard.
I'm just so tired of trying to fit in. I'm so tired of having to try and be the better person by doing something that I felt like I have to and not what I want to do. And
All right then. And Finn's gonna like stand up, and you see he actually like grabs his helmet, and as he puts it on, he clangs the mechanism, and the dragon head slams forward. You're tired of doing the right thing, huh? Tired of trying to be the bigger man in the situation. Don't be then. You feel angry, you feel pissed off at your sorry excuse of a piss poor god, then go ahead. And he's just gonna like tap his chest plate. I can take one.
what do you want me to strike you?
Come on. You obviously can't punch him in the face, and he's going to motion to the symbol. So let's just pretend that I'm one of your dear overseers who obviously treated you so kindly. All the rage, all the aggression that you have towards that. Come on. I can start talking like one of them if you want me to.
He kind of like reluctantly picks up like his sword. I don't. Damn. I don't know if that's. Uh, but like he's you see him questioning it in his face, but he's definitely like getting into his stance. Like this guy kind of seems like he knows what he's doing right now. So like,
I mean, he's saying I should
Upon,
do it.
he's saying I should do it.
upon seeing like the hesitation, you just see like his glowing eyes in the helm like kind of roll a little bit. Just oh, for fuck's sake, are you seriously thinking about this right now? Fine. Listen, and he's gonna like march up. Tauros has probably like a good like 4 to 5 inches of height on Finn, and Finn just like walks right up to him, like no fear whatsoever. Listen, either you're going to have to get all of that out some way or another, and it's gonna be either one, you bitch and you moan and you keep it inside until the point where it becomes too much and it costs either your team or yourself. Two, you can do it right fucking now while I can take it, and I promise I won't hit you back. Or three, and he just leans closer in. You see like his eyes peering at you through the slits of the dragon helmet. But option three is that you keep that faith. That faith leads you right down the path that those who did all of this to you, to your kind. I don't take you for a crusader, but you want to prove me wrong?
You see him kind of like try to almost like force the anger out as he kind of like shakes his head as he's talking and like just trying to focus in on the rage. As he like you see the steam just kind of out of his nose. He like takes like a deep sigh as he's gonna take the sword and just he's gonna come down on you.
All right.
There's a 16.
The sword slams into the chest plate and it stops. Like it's almost like a cheese grater, like grating across steel. And like Finn takes like half a step back from like the force of it, and you see that he just like snarls at you. Really? That's the best you've got. Wow, you must not be thinking about changing that oath too hard then, buddy.
You see like another kind of like puff of steam as he's gonna raise it up and slam it again. Ooh, that's a nat one, baby.
I'll say
As
that this
you
is like
Oh,
you.
can I
You go ahead. Go
I was
ahead.
going to say,
Yeah,
can
yep.
I narrate how this because as the sword like comes down, like almost like he sees and the wobbliness to it, you see him actually like kind of snarl, and as you do that, he grabs the front plates of your armor, rears back, and headbutts you with the helm as you finish the swing.
He like stumbles back and like falls to a knee. You see like the steam once again, like there's like a little bit of blood that kind of like trickles out from the headbutt, I imagine.
Yeah, just
And he
bursting
like
some
wipes his, yeah.
capillaries.
And he like wipes his face. He hasn't really been. I feel like that Nat one really. He wasn't really looking at Finn either. Like he's like, he's focusing on the swing, but he's not looking at him. And he like wipes the blood. It's not me that I'm scared for. It's them. It's them if I do this. And he's gonna swing again.
That's a nat 20, baby. Baby. Roll that damage.
Roll that damage.
Roll that damage. That's 20 slashing damage coming right at you.
I feel like at this point, like Finn retracted the faceplates of the mask right after the headbutt, and the sword just gets him right like across the bridge of the nose, and just like blood just spills out, and Finn just like grabs it. And how do you think they feel about it, huh?
He's starting to get into it now. I feel like he's like starting to get into the anger.
You think you're the only one? Think you're the only one? Not just in your group. And he's going to put a hand over his face, and he's going to pump a cure wounds right here.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
You did roll a 2 on one of those damage dice.
Yeah.
Do you want
It is true.
Do you want a great weapon fighting that one?
That's a 4.
So that's an additional 2 damage.
22 total.
Hey, you hold it. You heal yourself for 20. Nice.
So after he does that, you see he puts his hand on his face, and that same like rainbow glow goes over his face, and you see like a very thin scar that goes across now. This entire world is scared right now, and it's scared because of people like you. People who don't have the courage to do what's necessary. The people who don't have what it takes to throw away the twisted ideals that have been put on them.
If I do this, I'm going to get them hurt. And he's going to swing again. That's a 19.
Don't think a 19 beats Finn's armor class.
No, it skids off. And Finn at this point's just like, they'll get hurt. Oh, boo fucking who. Guess what? They're going to get hurt no matter what. You're not exactly coming into a feel-good place right here filled with rainbows and ponies. You're coming into a world of violence, a world of hate, a world that needs to be changed. And so you need to decide whether you want to be a part of that change or a reason that it doesn't happen.
Ooh. You see, that hits him pretty hard, but he's starting to get mad. Not at Finn, but like he's definitely got like the spits of rage just like kind of like sparking off of him right now.
I was gonna say, I think like mixed in with like the steam, like it's starting to, you haven't changed, but you're seeing like sparks of flame like starting to come up. You haven't gone into your demonic form, but it's like it's close.
I feel like he doesn't even say anything at that. He's just like, it's more just pure anger at himself as he just kind of like lets out a snarl and he's just going to swing again. Oof, that's a 13.
I'm going to say like this is like a solid thunk against the armor, but it's not doing any
It's
damage.
the force itself is like driving him back. Like you are physically stronger than Finn is, but you see like the armor as it takes it, the blow like reverberates, but it holds still, and Finn like digs his heels into the earth. Well, you've got to make a decision here. I can't make it for you. They sure as shit can. The only person who can is you. And as he does that, he like grips nothing in the air, but you see what materializes is almost like just this spectral warhammer as he's going to use spiritual weapon, just try and uppercut Tauros right in the jaw with it.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's see that roll.
Oof, that's a 13.
13, yeah, Tauros. You see it coming from like a mile away. Like, I think Fen is intentionally not doing his A game right here, and you easily like just like lean back so that it swings wide from your chin.
There's almost like as he's like kind of like dodges back, he almost like punches away and grabs his sword again and just swings it back at him as hard as he can. Like it's you see his like his eyes are beginning to glow a bit. Like there is just anger behind him, and he's just, I'm going to get people hurt. I can't do it. I can't do it to my friends. I can't do it to others. He's just gonna 16. Whew.
Again, at this point, he like parries it with the spectral warhammer and like slams them both into the ground.
I will say at this point, I will need a perception check from everyone who is sleeping.
I will say we walked away.
You're casting magic and yelling at each other.
Yeah, Tauros isn't being quiet.
They are asleep.
It's a high DC, but it's not unachievable.
Yeah.
So that's a 6 from T, a 15 from Essa, a nat 20 for a 21 for Edgar. I'm gonna say it was a DC of 20 because you were sleeping and you had walked away from the camp. But Edgar, you do wake up hearing the sounds of combat. Like we'll say like you guys move like 60 feet away, something like that.
Yeah, we
like
can keep an eye
yards.
on them still. Yeah.
Edgar will just get up. He'll nudge Essa and T because he has no idea what the fuck he's hearing, and then just gonna kind of keep listening for a little while.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming I can hear Tauros' voice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You hear him louder than you've ever heard him before.
Yeah.
I think you do catch Tauros saying, like, what wakes you is hearing Tauros saying, like, I can't hurt them. I can't hurt my friends.
I'm gonna just look at them and be like, I think that's Tauros and the new guy. I don't see either of them here.
They were on watch, right?
Yeah.
I don't like this. And S is gonna put on the goggles tonight. He's gonna try to sneak out to find them.
Yeah, give me a stealth check. Not with advantage because the two of them both have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
19. I think that beats both of your passive perceptions.
Oh yeah, definitely mine.
I won.
Yep.
Damn.
Listen, he's a cleric. He's got that perception.
He's got the high wisdom.
Max motherfucker.
I lose by 1 or I beat by 1. Trey just clear on that.
You beat it by 1. It's
Okay.
18.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. So Essa, you're able to sneak up as they're. You see them like trading blows. Give me an insight check as you're looking at these two.
Oh boy. Okay.
7. You're not able to get a solid read on the intentions of this. No one looks severely hurt, but you can't. You're not getting any straight up answers just by observing
And
them.
Tauros looks like he's about to Hulk out.
Yeah,
that is true. Tauros is like steam and smoke are coming off of Tauros.
You've seen him before he transforms, where he has to pump himself up or like kind of like get angry about it. You've seen him, and it kind of looks like he's about to do that.
So Essa seeing this, he goes, "Whoa!" Like
Finn,
has his bow drawn on Fen when like
Finn sees this and he's like, all right, we're going to need a bit more privacy. And he's going to stomp his foot on the ground. And as he does, he's going to cast Wall of Fire to encircle the two.
To encircle Tauros and Fen?
The fire pointing out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's gonna hurt me.
I'll say you're far enough away that it's you're not standing right next to them when you confronted them. Like you had your bow trained on him, you're not going to stand right next to him.
And as Finn looks over, he's like, "Don't worry, I'm just in the middle of teaching a lesson. We'll be done in a few minutes." And he stomps his foot on the ground.
Give me a persuasion check to not sound like you're trying to kill Tauros.
Oh,
is there anything I could roll?
That's a nat 1 for a total of -1. Listen. We gotta honor a nat 1. Essa, you are straight up like, oh, Fen is definitely trying to kill Tauros right now.
I just shout to the others to like get over here, like and
All right.
fuck it.
I guess we're in combat now.
This
I think maybe
this is some wild shit, guys.
Essa might just run straight to the wall of fire.
Okay,
Just,
I
like,
will.
straight through it. I can.
Yeah. After that shout, Tauros will add to it and she'll be like,
Okay.
"Let me finish this."
That's like you're trying to kill each other.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Give me a persuasion
Yeah.
check with
Yep.
disadvantage, Tauros.
God damn. And we know how persuasive Tauros
Nat
is.
one.
Come on.
One.
Come on. It's a 6.
It's a 4 on the die for a total of 6. Yeah, no, that doesn't do anything to reassure
Ease.
Essa and now T and Edgar who are over here. However, the three of you are here. You hear Tauros say, "Let me be the one to finish this." So it's I'll leave it up to you if you want to get involved. If you want to get involved, we are going to have to roll initiative because it's not just one-on-one anymore. But you're gonna have to tell me right now. Are you going to try to get involved?
Can I shout?
You can shout something. Absolutely.
If I hear that, I'll be like, "Can you both just take 1 fucking second to tell us what's happening? 1 fucking second."
Oh yeah. Your friend here needed a little bit of a reality check. I'm giving it to him right now.
You
Don't
keep
worry.
saying
That's
shit.
not
That
helping.
sounds like you're trying to kill him.
I was literally going
Almost
to
as
continue.
bad
I
as
was
that.
going to continue. I was going to continue.
Okay, I'm sorry. Finish your sentence.
So bad.
No, don't worry. It's mainly him smacking me. That's about
How
it.
about-
Nothing
hey.
lethal.
Cool. Tauros, how about you say something?
Oh, he's so mad right now. He's not good with words.
No, he rolled a 6 on his persuasion.
It's he's like baring his teeth. It's fine.
Can I do an insight
Yeah,
check?
Give me
he
an
sounds
insight
a
check.
lot-
Give me an
He
insight
sounds
check.
angrier than
Essa
you've
tried
ever
to
heard.
shout at them as well. He's like, could you at least bring down the firewall before you burn the place down?"
That's a 10
11.
insight from T and an 11 from
I'll roll insight as well. Just
and a
10
10
as well.
from Essa.
You picked. Let the
Just
3
woke up.
non-wise members of the parties have to make insight checks.
Does
Okay.
T get a BFFs?
BFF.
Yeah, do I get
Okay,
a
okay.
bonus?
We'll give you a bestie bonus. You roll with advantage.
Bestie bonus.
Yay!
Okay, that's a
Hey.
20. There we go.
Bestie bonus.
Thanks to the bestie bonus, you roll a 20. T. While Essa and Edgar are like, oh, we need to intervene. Like, we need to get... Tauros is going to get murdered. You're like, you hear him.
Mm-hmm.
At first, you are like, I don't know about this. And then you catch Tauros's face. Subtly in his face, you see he's like in this like whipped up, rage-filled state. But you also see like this kind of sadness tinged into it. And it's a sadness that like you've seen Tauros with his game face. You don't notice this kind of twinge to it when he's like in actual life or death mode. So there is something about that. Like even in like, you know, the fire is out there, so the shadows are flickering across, but you get the sense that no, this is bros punching each other in the parking lot to like psych each other up kind of thing instead of
Okay.
this is
with a wall of fire.
With a wall of fire around
Yeah.
them.
The customary wall of fire.
This is that. This is like that.
Denny's parking lot.
This is that scene from Fight Club. But
with a wall of fire.
With a wall of fire around
it. She'll kind of put her arm out in front of Edgar and Essa, and just go, "Wait, I think this is good.
That.
I think they're okay.
Okay, I'm gonna
Just
trust you.
Watch, and if he starts to die, we intervene."
What?
Man,
this is going so well. This
What
is
a way
such
with the words.
This
we
is
are.
such a great You're the one with the highest charisma.
First of all, fuck off.
So can we
We
go
gotta
back
go make
to-
sure Annie's okay.
Okay, yeah, you go back. Like Annie has definitely at this point woken up from all the screaming and stuff and sees like a giant ring of fire and is like, "What the fuck?" And
Poor Annie.
Bonfire?
Fire.
Bonfire.
give me a deception
Bonfire.
roll. Give me a fun
No,
little
I'm
deception.
not actually. Edgar's not gonna say that.
He can never lie to Annie ever again.
Okay, no, yeah, you're able to like let her know like they're just working something
okay.
out and like
Yeah.
like
I don't get it.
she
It's apparently
she doesn't
okay.
seem to get it. You look at Caster. Caster's like, I get it.
Caster's a homie. Caster's such a homie. Well, actually, to be fair, Caster actually beat the shit out of Oberon at one point per his request. So, like,
All right.
anyways,
so
it
as
was your
goes
turn.
Back, yeah, as it goes back, okay, I gotta get the meanness going again.
Some wild ass PvP for this episode. That's great. We love this.
Well, you have to be the one to decide. You can hurt them now. You can potentially risk hurting them now, or you can still follow this horse shit, and you can get not only them hurt later, but you could get yourself killed. And if you get yourself killed, who's going to be there for them? And the hammer is going to come up and uppercut.
Oof.
15. I think that doesn't beat Taurus's AC.
That doesn't hit.
Yeah, it just misses.
Yes. He like kind of like parries it with his greatsword as he kind of comes down, slashes the hammer down, and then he's going to go like swing up and just like there's that kind of moment of like he calmed, like not like fully calmed down, but there was like that moment of like hearing his party members like, "Hey Toros, what the fuck?" Like, oh shit, he kind of like cooled down for like just a tiny bit. And I imagine it's like when the actual like emotion kind of comes out, and there's like a couple tears kind of like at his eyes, but then the rage kind of boils back up at the swing. Just they're the only people I've ever cared about me, and he's gonna swing away. Ooh, that's still a 12.
12 is not gonna hit.
Now, again, it's just like another parry, and just then, if I were in your shoes, we'd be doing everything I could to make sure that they stayed that way. Are you doing everything that you can, or everything that you want to do?
I want Toros to make an insight check on himself.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's deep.
That's a 20 on the self-insight
baby.
check. The dice are telling a story, baby. Toros, what? So you hear Fen say this. Say, like, are you doing everything you can, or are you doing everything you want to do? You're thinking about, like, I'm supposed to be... You're saying, I want to save my friends. I want to keep them safe.
Yeah.
And Fen is saying, they're gonna be in danger anyways. How like as Taurus like takes a moment, like takes a breath as like you rear back getting ready to swing again, like you have like this brief little pause where you like turn inward in your thoughts. What do you think Taurus like thinks about as he has this dirty 20 on his insight check?
After that last swing, I'm assuming kind of like it carves away at the very much like a just kind of slides against the. He raises the sword up again, just in a rage. I imagine Fen just stands there like a homie. He's just like, "Go ahead and hit me, bitch!"
Mm-hmm.
Like doesn't react at all, like how he's been. And Toro stands over there, almost like towering, arms up, and then like he's like at like the point of like bursting into his demon form. Like he is like there's fire flicking off of him now, and then it just kind of cools as his sword almost drops behind him because he's like holding it above him. It drops behind him, and he like falls to a knee. And just, I'm doing nothing.
as he does that, Finn like takes the hammer, brings it down, and as the hammer's brought down, it slides right past Tauros, and as it hits the ground kind of like cracks a little, and all the fire from the ring of fire gets absorbed into the hammer, and the hammer like slowly like fades away, almost like embers from a fire as it like melts away from his hand. And you just see like standing there with like his hand still extended from where the hammer hit down. And let's get started in the right direction.
You see him like rise. He looks like he looks like a mess. Like he hasn't. There's not a whole lot of tears on his face now. They're kind of like a little from usually when he enters his tiefling form. There's usually like some like almost like magma that drips out of his eyes. You see like there's a tiny little glow of it as he kind of like takes the hand and like almost shakily stands up and picks up his sword and just kind of gives Finn like a nod of respect. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. And he turns back to like the others who are there. We're good.
I know he's not hurt a lot, but when he takes his hand, Tauros will give him the rest of his lay on hand, like the rest of the healing of lay on hands
Yeah, I
to bump
think
him back
Oh,
up.
you only needed like 2 hit points, right?
Yeah.
two hit points. Yeah. Yeah. As he gets it, Finn's just going, oh, appreciate it. He's just going to clap you on the back, like, all right, we got watch to finish. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just going to walk by like everybody else, just like, just with Toro, just walk by like nothing ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Tauros almost like kind of like he's like he didn't get hit once, but he looks like he's been beaten down like mentally as he just kind of picks up his sword and just puts it on his shoulder and just kind of gives a nod to the others. I'm okay.
Good. He will like squeeze his shoulder as he walks by.
You see him like let out like a small spout of steam. Just I needed that,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad you were able to get it.
and he will saunter his way back to the camp.
Yeah. Well, I think that will be the so the rest of the night passes by. Nothing bad happened. No big issues. Yeah. You so I'll ask you this, Tauros. I'll say like during the course of you all traveling down this river, is there ever a night at camp where Tauros decides to formally break his oath?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not until he talks to Planin or talks to someone in the camp.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So you all continue sailing down the river or rowing down the river. And
I was,
sorry.
I was just going to ask, anybody come up to Finn afterwards, asking anything, threatening, anything like that?
Not threatening. Essa just goes, so what was that?
Oh, he was being a little bit of I don't want this to sound rude. He needed some sense into him, and sometimes the quickest way to do that is by beating it into somebody. Although, and he kind of like rubs along his nose where you see like there's a faint like white scar now. I'd say he probably did a little bit more of that to me than I did to him.
I'm glad he's not dead.
T doesn't approach you about it, but she does kind of treat you with like a bit more respect because she could kind of see the second layer there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a direct like effect, but it definitely affects her interactions with him.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you all continue traveling down the river. There's some bends, some curves, some narrow dodges from big sharp rocks. But having a mending cantrip is pretty useful when you're in a big ass river like this. And after the course of 7 days, you find yourselves beaching onto the shore of the riverbed, and Fen leads you all into the actual jungle itself. And after about an hour or two of traveling, find yourselves in a clearing. Now, this looks very similar to the camp that that Edgar, T, and Essa have already seen. Several tents set up. Some larger tents that you can assume are like either meeting halls or maybe places for respected members of the community sleeping there. Large fires, lots of noise, lots of people running around, and everyone here you see there's goblins, there's grung, the frog kind of people. There's even a few half orcs. There's some bugbears, and what's interesting for you, especially Edgar, you see several tall, gaunt-faced, thin, pale-skinned people milling around and performing duties and checking in on people.
The urge to just go up and be like, "Hey, Maxilia, anyone? He's holding it in."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as Finn kind of like looks back and sees this, he's like, we take it you've never seen a sorry?
It's all kind of really, really new. Complicated, very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take. Understood. Plan's tent should be further in this way.
Yeah, you lead them
avoid.
down. As you're like looking around, like a few of them start like a few people start like noticing, and like you start hearing whispering, especially as people see T and Annie among your group. Yeah.
I will say hardly the most relevant thing right now, but T has put on a muted color outfit, so she's no longer this like little dolled up thing.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like a traveler.
A traveler.
Traveler.
I will also say, after that first night when we told kind of the nicer story, at some point on the trip, Edgar did share everything, including what happened with the Red Claws with Annie. Just so
Gotcha.
she is aware.
Yeah, give me
And Castor, so Castor is aware too.
Gotcha. Give me a persuasion check to see how you can like how well you're able to deliver that to Annie.
Could I have asked T for assistance on this? Be like, hey, I'm
Yes.
gonna try to break some big news.
Absolutely. So that's a persuasion with advantage.
Cool.
Got it.
Please.
Wait, do you want me to roll it?
No, it was
I got
Edgar's
it.
roll, but Edgar rolled a
Hey.
19. So
Good job.
yeah, she does.
He is proud.
She does look a little scared as you like tell the full story, and she's especially upset as you tell her about. Do you tell her what you believe her grandfather had planned for her?
I don't know how. So, remind me, how much did Oberon share with us?
Mm-hmm.
From what I remember, is you all had kind of come to the conclusion, or at least the belief that OG Claudius was planning to use Annie as a catalyst for the processing of the divine energy of Morrigan to reignite and reinfuse Ava Nemain.
Like a conduit.
Yes.
This would have been a part of that like prep conversation with T too, of being like, I don't want to make any assumptions into what we're saying. So kind of working
Mhm.
out how I would say it to her of we don't know for
These are the
sure,
facts.
Mhm.
yeah, what was planned, but
Yeah.
we knew he wanted your magic. And he wanted to use your magic to do something terrible. We can't say for sure much more than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think with the 19 persuasion and with T's help, you're able to explain it to her, tell her, like, not making speculations, but she looks very concerned and upset when you tell it to her, but you've done a good enough job to introduce it to her in a way that's like giving her time to process it, and
Mhm.
though she's certainly not like in a good way about it, she's not like freaking out or having like any like, it doesn't look like she's some you're gonna have to be keeping a firm eye on her or anything like
Gotcha.
that. But yeah, as you are making your way through, like,
I am also gonna look for the red claws. Just see if anyone
yes,
looks familiar.
give me a perception check.
13.
Had
Sorry, what was that?
13.
Sorry, 13. And were you saying something, Zach?
had Edgar told us that he saw? Okay, I can't remember if
I
he was
would
like,
have.
yeah,
I think
okay.
before we came here, I'd be like,
I
he's
could not
like, here. I
remember.
think I would have told let
Yeah,
I told
let's
everything
okay.
about what
Okay.
Oberon did, what was the plan, what the deal, and everything was, and that the Red Claws are here, the ones that we attacked.
I believe
Okay.
T said that she had shared, because when she produced the scroll of sending, that Oberon's like
Oh, she
backup
did
plan.
not explain where
Oh,
that came from.
nope,
Mhm.
never mind then.
She did not explain where that came from.
No
Nope,
one,
nope,
no
nope,
one
nope,
knows about Oberon's backup plan then.
nope.
All right. Well, only T knows about Oberon's backup plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you all, you're making your way through. 13. You see a lot of goblins, but you don't recognize any of them to
Got
be
it.
specifically from the Red Claw clan.
Mhm.
And it's like, it's humid. It's like at this
To
point,
the grave.
it's oh my god, at this point it's the 23rd of Madeirn, so it's like well into the no, I'm sorry.
Zaz's-
Sorry, not the 23rd. The 16th
The
of Madeirn.
10th. Okay, yeah. The 10th is when we met up with Fen.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So the 16th?
So it would be the 17th of Madeirn.
17th. Yeah, it took 7 days to get
So
here.
it's, we're halfway through the start of the summer. It's starting to get warmer, and especially in this tropical, humid environment, like everyone who's wearing like cloth and leather, like your clothes are really starting to stick to your skin.
Edgar refuses to take all of his layers off. He's gone. He can't. He doesn't care.
It's a
He's
betrayal.
gonna
It's a
survive.
betrayal to the culture.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
Like Edgar's there, his hair is all like sweaty mop, like clinging to his forehead and stuff.
Mhm.
And like there's not really a lot of, like, there's fires for cooking, but other than that, no one's lighting fires to warm themselves in this camp. And uh and even then you notice that there's like a lot of work going on to like trap the smoke so that it's not giving away like a position or anything like that.
Mhm.
Um and as you make your way towards one of the larger tents here, you, Edgar, see a familiar sight. You see a tall woman in resplendent armor. Though, sorry, I say resplendent, in plate armor that looks like it does have intricate designs and was very nice at a time, but is very worn. You notice especially like there's a lot of as you're going around, you see like a lot of people's weapons and armor that you see. A lot of it is like patched over reforged. Like, it's very clear that like there's no one here that like the gear that they have is functional, but it's not exactly the nicest looking, and also looks like it's been a lot of work has been done to make sure to stretch out the lifespan of this gear.
Ben probably has hands down the nicest set of armor in this
Oh,
place.
absolutely, without a doubt. Fenn's armor is like miles beyond the quality of everyone else's stuff. But yes, you recognize Hildra Famora, the daughter of Planin, standing there, and she sees you, nods curtly, and then opens the flap of the tent for you all to come inside.
Finn's going to nod and just say, "Thank you." Go in.
Yeah, you all head inside, and all of you see inside is a man, like whip thin, like looks almost skeletal the way that his body looks like. He's wearing robes that like hang off of him, look very much like they're oversized for his body type. Bald man, very wrinkled, aged face, with almost completely white. His eyes are so gray. And he smiles at you all as you come in and says, welcome, all of you, and you especially, Edgar. It is nice to see you again.
It's great to see you too, Planin.
And
Finn's just like looking. Finn's just looking between them, like.
So he sees your confusion, Fen. He says, I've dealt with Mr. Wood before. Fen, thank you as well for providing the service of escorting them to us. That was very much appreciated.
No problem.
Right.
Is this something we need to step out for? Am I good to stay? It's like
he looks to you, Edgar, and says, I am not uncomfortable with Fen staying for this, but if you would prefer to speak about this privately, I'm more than happy to accommodate that.
I'm gonna look at everyone else real quick and be like, actually, for what we need, you might be able to help us, Fen. I'm not too sure, but with your expertise, maybe. I don't think it would hurt if you guys are okay with him staying here.
I'm cool with that.
Sure.
I'm fine.
Very well. You're welcome to stay if you'd like, Fen. If you have other things you'd like to attend to, that's also understandable.
I think I'll stay at least for a little bit, see what's going on.
Very well. So he turns his attention back to you, Edgar, and says, so, how, I understand that you've all come into some trouble recently.
Yeah. We'll start with the good news. How about that? I apologize for what happened with Oberon last time we were at your camp too. He has a habit of just showing up and making declarations like that, but he's a good guy. I can promise you that. And the deal that was made between the two of you, we did it. We were able to get to the point of coalescence. I'm had a chance to talk to Baphomalia, who seems to be one of the high celestials of Famora.
Yeah, he
And
like,
another,
so yeah, he starts nodding his head, like his eyes go wide. He's like, oh yes, she's one of the important celestials that work in hand with Famora. That's wonderful. I that's more than I could have even expected of you.
She was really cool. She said some really nice things.
I'm sure she did.
Nice. There's a little guy named Kilzaren Telekarov. he was cool too.
It's quite a mouthful of a name.
Yeah, we called him Killsy or KFC.
Why KFC? What's
I don't know. It just kind of happened.
Okay.
Um,
But what did you discover from talking with these Celestials?
a lot. They're doing everything they can to keep what is left of Femora alive, with her dying, but still trying to keep the faith and everything. And I offered to help however we could, but it seems like it's going to be a lot of systematic stuff of trying to take out the fake falsities and the belief in other gods and all that. But I also learned the truth that they believe Femora would never have killed Morgan. Right, Morgan? Am I right?
Maka.
Maka, right? Morgan's mom. Morgan is mom.
Morgan
right?
is the chief
Morgan
of the
is
Sylvanus
Yes.
Pantheon.
Sorry, got confused.
or
Would
queen
never
of the
kill.
Sylvanus Pantheon.
Yeah, would have never killed Maka because they were actually in love. And we have our own theories of what actually happened then, but it just opened my eyes to a lot. And then they also shared a lot about the power, why it's a point of coalescence, and some news with the Immortal Empress that could make for some pivotal moments coming up. And I'll share everything that we learned, the stories of what has happened in the past, and the potential, what the Immortal Empress might need with that orb. And I have a drawing of it, so
Yeah.
I'll share whatever I have.
Yeah, absolutely. He takes some time, looks over your notes. Like, Hildred looks completely blown away by all of this. But you see Planin is like kind of very passive. He's neutral. Like he carries himself with the energy of like someone who has been trained or learned to like stay neutral and be able to like not have people, dig into his expressions and stuff like that. And as you like kind of wrap up telling him everything, he just kind of nods and says, well, this is wonderful, Edgar. This is honestly, I must admit, I had some reservations as to whether we would ever be hearing from you again. The idea of us actually tracking you down with that pendant is, I'll admit to you now, was more of a bluff. We could track your location, but it's not like we could send people to go after you. It's hard for our agents to infiltrate cities in the Empire. Understandably so. I imagine you can know why. But this is more than I could have hoped for from you. We had, or he like corrects himself. Some of us had suspected as to the nature of the power that the Immortal Empress wields, and this provides confirmation for us. And although it is settling, because we still do not know where this cast-off divinity will appear back in our world once again, and we aren't entirely certain of when it will reappear, the fact that we know that she needs it is a great boon for our people. As for the nature of the relationship between Maka and Femora, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the religious teachings of our people. We had always believed that the accusations made against Fomora were unjust. There wasn't necessarily a unified agreement as to why that was. There were some of us who believed that she murdered Maka in self-defense. There were some of us who believed that there was some justifiable reason for it, and there were a smaller sect of us. And as he says us, like, give me a little religion check or an arcana check.
Can I
I would-
Arcana check?
Either anyone can.
I would
nice,
also
nice.
like to check in on Annie
Mm-hmm.
You say
and
religion
just
or
if
arcana?
Annie looks like this is a mental overload, be like, "Hey, Caster, do you want to go distract her?"
Sure.
Some point.
Give me an insight check on just looking at Annie.
17.
17 on Annie.
Everyone who got a 15 or higher, so that's Ben,
Me.
Essa, and Edgar. Oh no,
Um,
sorry.
mine
17
was
was for your
bad for
insight. My
Arcana.
apologies.
Yeah.
So just Essa and Fen, you sense divine energy coming from Planin. It seems as if he is a cleric, or has some sort of similar abilities. So when you hear him say "we," you get the sense of he's not talking just about like Asori in general. He's specifically talking about like clergy who like people who, or like religious scholars who,
The most devout followers.
like people who like actually like put in like study and stuff like that about Fomora and everything.
Mhm.
Looking at Annie, she looks kind of overstimulated, but not like there's not smoke coming out of her ears. Honestly, she kind of looks a little bored. It's like, it's a child. It's like a child sitting through like Sunday school or something like that.
Mhm.
Like kind of vibe. But he continues and says, there were some of us who did believe that there was a relationship between Maka and Fomora that was not adversarial. And he kind of like smiles a bit and says, I, for one, am glad to hear that confirmed. And he takes a deep sigh and says, well, that relieves you of your obligation to us. I will be sure to pass this information along. He'll like ask you if he can take copies of any notes or things that you've taken.
Take everything, whatever you need.
And he'll say, but I understand that there's something else you need to speak with us about.
Yeah. Oberon was supposed to join us here, but he is missing. We believe he's somewhere to the north in a cold space, but we have to try to find him, and I don't think we have the magical means ourselves to locate him with scrying or whatever. We were just hoping for some help.
Oh, absolutely. And he asks you to wait there, and then he pulls out a table. And on the table, you see is a crystal orb, situated at the center of it, on like a kind of plush cushion. It's giving very seance. And and
I've seen this before.
and he says, this will take some time, but bear with me. And he begins to cast scrying. As he does so, so you will have to tell him about Oberon. So
Is there any magic shit you could do to show him, remind him what he looked like?
I think I have. Oh, do I still have it?
Do you have
Is this gonna be the reverse of that shit that I pulled in that bar? Minor illusion. I do have it.
There we go.
So just like how in that bar I got the lady to trust us and show us where Planin was by showing a tiny Asori as a minor image, I'm gonna make a mini of Oberon with my minor image.
I will ask you, could you just please give me a tiny itsy bitsy little performance check to see how well you recreate Oberon?
Yuck.
Or would this be
22, motherfucker.
20. I'm saying because casting the spell is no problem.
Mhm.
It's shaping the spell
Yeah.
to look.
Yeah.
But a 22,
Yeah.
this is like, I'll say like you can't get like a full body picture of Oberon, but like you get like a perfect
good bust.
like bust, like a portrait
Yeah.
of him. Perfect. And so so Oberon doesn't know that he's casting this spell, so Oberon wouldn't be able to willingly fail. But he is going to. So I will need a wisdom save from Oberon.
Nat 20 this.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Yes,
so
you have
you
control
will
over
you will
it.
have a -2 to the save.
Okay.
I would
What's
ask
the DC?
anything else you need. Can I?
He says
he's
if
stubborn.
you have a possession of his or
We
One.
have his dog.
One. Yeah.
Oh,
one.
like
The bag. I'll take it.
He have his dog.
We
yeah,
also have
like,
some of his stuff.
Yeah, I will
don't
say
think we need-
another thing. As you guys were walking through, a lot of whispering and concerned faces as the Elmera Mastiff was just kind of walking through the camp.
Who's
Chilling.
gotta stink? Who has to stink
Oh,
at this
yeah.
point?
Yeah, because there's a certain thing in this bag that I think
Oh,
we should
yeah.
probably address now. There's
We'll
a
address it
certain
later.
item.
Now
There's a
is
certain
not the
object.
time.
I don't know. Maybe let's rewind the clock a little bit because I don't know
People can't hold them.
how maybe our attentive viewers would know, but you all put a certain object inside this bag of holding a few episodes ago. A
We
one
can kill each other about it later.
a one corpse of a gang boss named Redmayne. Now,
I'd like to mention some moment where like one of us opens the bag and go, "Oh,
Oh fuck!
would you have disposed of this body before you came to see Planin?
into the river."
Probably.
Okay, thank you very much. We have that settled, and I win. So,
I use the alchemy jar to try to like power wash it every day.
right.
I don't know how.
There's still.
peacefully-
I'm gonna roll. I'm just gonna roll a d20.
I don't know. Sorry.
13 or higher, you cleaned it. 12 or under, it's gonna have a little stank on it for the rest of all time. You're not
Well,
gonna.
like,
All time.
Good.
Just a little d20.
Oh, and it sinks.
And that's a nat
Nat
1. So
Mhm.
I like to imagine, like, for some reason you said Alkajag. I thought you were like, I'm just going for ass on a Redman's body. I was like,
I'm just
fuck.
covered in mayo.
so
That'll
this
fix
bag
it.
smells like a corpse. Like it just straight
Good.
up does. Like you can tuck it away and it won't smell that bad, but anytime it's out in the open, it's gonna smell like a corpse.
This will be a hell of a torture device. All I'm saying.
out.
God damn it. God
Interrogation.
damn it.
Any
So
negative we said is a positive, Jack. You should know this.
okay. So that aside, I'll say you can get one of Oberon's possessions that he left, or you could get one of the letters that he wrote, and that will
I'll take
count
the
as a
bag
possession.
with his name on it.
Oh yes,
do that
absolutely,
too.
absolutely, yeah. So that's a possession. So that drops the modifier down by another down to a 4. Now
Okay.
Planin has met the target, so he would have first-hand knowledge, but he does not know the target well. So that's a 0. So there is just a straight -4 to this roll, this wisdom save from Oberon.
And what's the DC?
The DC that would be
8 plus
Sorry,
his
plus
wisdom.
proficiency.
Plus his
sorry.
proficiency.
stat blocks are the NPC stat blocks aren't as good about that.
Yeah.
4 plus 8 is 12. So a DC 17 Wisdom save.
So I need Oberon would need a nat with a
16 or
minus
lower.
4. Well, he's got a +3 to his wisdom save.
So you need a 16 or
right.
higher, right?
Yep, a 16 or higher from
What's a
Oberon.
4? Yeah.
Yeah.
Blam.
That's a 13. So yeah, as things go, you all like are staring. After about 10 minutes, the spell completes, and inside of the crystal ball, you see Oberon alive. Currently, you see him. He's surrounded by a bunch of like large, like hulking humanoids, like people that are like paler skin, but not as pale as like an Asori. Wearing like furs. Oberon is not dressed in his usual wear. He's wearing like very thick animal hide furs. You see him, he is right now he's actually working on like helping to take down what looks like some kind of like you all would know as a yurt, like a large domed tent supported with like wooden beams and with animal hides stretched around it and stuff like that.
Can we make like a investigation or history check?
You can
to
make
know
a
those
history
people?
check or an investigation check to try to figure out what's going on here.
What's better? They're the same.
Oh, baby, let's go.
Natural 20. Fuck yeah.
Oh, that's
Damn.
two
Oh
nat
my
20s.
God.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, Dre.
Hell
Fuck
yeah, guys.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And a dirty 20.
Holy
No,
shit.
no one
when
got
it comes to saving our
One
friend,
got
we're
below a
efficient.
19.
no one got below a 19. So yeah, all of you recognize these are Goliaths. These are people who are native to the northern regions, and doesn't look like he's in danger. He's like working alongside them. And let me double check because I think you.
You
Yeah,
cannot
you
get,
can hear you hear them speaking. But Oberon's kind of like speaking in mostly Dwarvish, and some of them are speaking back in a like stuttering
Broken
Dwarvish.
Dwarvish.
But like he's working with them, and it's like you can't speak to him through this, but you can see that he is alive and he is working alongside these people. And Planin says, Planin's going to make a little history check. That's a 24 on
Wow,
Planin's
you-
history.
Ooh.
God.
Jesus.
And he looks and says, it seems that he is living alongside a clan of, I would imagine these are Ithaians. Seems he's safe. I will let you know from what admittedly limited interactions I've had with the people of Ghoul and Ithai, that they are respectable people. None of them would murder someone who was just stranded out in their territory. It may take some time for him to be able to return to the Empire, but I can assure you that if he's in the frozen north and working with these people, you do not need to worry about his survival.
I feel like the room has a collective sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Out of
hand
curiosity,
squeeze
what,
to Annie.
what
Like
did he,
Annie's like straight up crying right now.
what did he refer to them as?
Ithaians.
Athenians. Got it.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I hate him.
He looks like a bitch.
Yeah, to you, Fen.
Yeah, Finn.
You see
Finn
an
is literally like,
Mhm.
Yeah, an elf.
Yeah, just some random elf.
Some asshole.
Just like I mean, he's not doing anything bad. But like he's just some random elf to you.
You can smell
Yeah.
the noble from the scry.
Yeah.
It's wafting.
Finn's just like, and who would this? He's like looking at like trying to structure. Can he see like any
Give me a
familiar
little insight
resemblance
check. Give me a little insight check.
No, he's scratched.
Somebody need to restart Jack.
24.
Gotta clean him up.
24.
There's scratch
Somebody
on
should
his
crank Jack up again.
So 24, obviously, everyone's very relieved that this person is safe. I imagine you've overheard people talking about Oberon, especially Edgar talking about Oberon to Annie. So like you definitely know that this is that Oberon. This is the brother of the young girl that's been traveling with you all, who's been missing.
Well, he seems in mostly good spirits.
You don't have anyone who'd have a contact up there, right? That we could possibly get in touch with? I'm guessing no.
He Planin like kind of looks apologetic and says, "Unfortunately, those of Ghoul Linithay are hard to contact in the best of circumstances. They tend to keep to themselves. As I said, they are honorable people. I believe that there are moments where they gather together in communal situations. There may be an opportunity for Oberon to come home during that. But our people are, and he kind of like gestures out of the tent, more suited to, are not well suited to the environments that the people of Gul'Nith they inhabit, and sending one of our agents out there to try to find a nomadic people in territory that they know intimately and that we barely understand is almost certainly a death sentence for whoever we send out.
Gotcha. If we had, and I'm turning to the group, if we had a way to just get in contact and stay in contact, we might be able to find him, but if we don't have that, we're just going to be wandering the tundra looking for him.
At least we know he's safe now.
No.
True.
What do we want to do?
And I will say at this point, like, Annie looks very relieved, looks very like, oh, like the most important concern on her mind is gone, but she also, you start to see, like, is looking very tired. She's an indoor kid. She's not not one who's used to traveling and being in like survival mode and stuff like that. And you see like her not having to worry about Oberon, like you can see how much like stress and like how exhausted she is from having to be in this like intense like moving around, not knowing for sure if you're safe kind of situation.
Essa speaks up and kind of goes, maybe we can discuss what exactly we're going to do later. We've all been kind of on edge for a while now.
For sure.
It's our first real rest in a while.
Planin, I don't want to intrude, but is there any space we could just take to set up camp nearby, give some our travel companions some time to rest?
Yeah, he nods and says, absolutely. I'll take you to a place where we, like he says, as he's saying that, he kind of like catches himself and says, it may be best for now for you all to rest in my quarters as it is. And he like looks over at Annie and Castor and looks back to you and says, I understand that this is a delicate situation where a child needs safety, and I can guarantee you that while you are all here, no harm will come to her. You will not have to worry about people's snooping or prying. But as for a more long term solution, that is something that we will have to negotiate with the Alliance as a whole.
Of course.
Mm.
We appreciate your hospitality.
Of course. Yeah, and he'll like show you to like it's like I say tent. It is like a large like it's very much sort of similar to the yurts you saw from the Athenians. Like it's got poles and things to like and stretched like fabric and cloth to like provide like a stronger support than like just a standard tent. But like there are like sort of almost compartment like room kind of setups in here. Uh, uh, that you can like he takes you to one of them and like basically is like this is a room for you all to use while you're staying here.
Thank you, Planin. Really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All
Troy
right.
also kind of give him a nod of respect.
Do you all go there and start like putting down your stuff, or do you just like have Annie and Castor move in there and
We
continue talking with
probably.
Planin?
Oh, do we still need to talk with Planin? Or I was gonna say that we probably have Castor and Annie like chill for a minute while the rest of us start to like, what the fuck do we do next?
Yep. Either or, like whichever
Yeah.
you all think you need to do.
Yeah. If y'all still wanted to chat with
Yeah.
Planin, we can stay there with it.
Yeah, I'm done.
We get to panic by
talking.
ourselves?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you guys can
Okay.
Planin escorts you to the room. It's not that far of a walk, but you all like find yourselves. It's like fairly wide. There's lots of like bed rolls and like straw set up to like it's not mattresses. This isn't Madame Chevre's, but it's like you can find accommodations here. It's a little nicer than the sleeping arrangements you've been having for the past few weeks.
Let's go.
Well,
Well,
I think the best we could have asked for with Oberon.
yes. So, do we begin the trek to the frozen north? Or do we try to find somewhere safe for Annie?
I think that's got to take priority, at least for me.
I agree.
This is not the life for her.
Oberon can take care of themselves, and we heard Planin as long as he's with the Elaith. Is what they're called?
Athenians.
Athenians. As long as he's with the Athenians, he'll be at least alive, safe.
He
I
would
don't know.
he would want us to take care of Eddie first.
Yes.
He would.
So where exactly is Annie going to be safe? That's the other question.
Oh,
Do we want to? Go ahead, Trey.
oh, Finn's like kind of been listening, and he's been like thinking, and he's just like, "We may know a place."
Oh. What's this place?
I know there's a monastery. No, there's the one closer to probably, and he's gonna like quickly like look over, like pull out a thing, kind of like looks at for a second, and like right around here, and it's gonna point to like a set of like um forest in between here's some area there that's been hidden from the Empire for a while now. Still a bit close, but you're just looking for somewhere temporary. It may work.
Yeah, so that monastery, like he pointed, it's a forest that's uh south of the city of Kells in the Empire, though from what he says, it's a secluded place that it's outside of the Empire's eyes, but that would also be several days' journey to get there.
If that's the only bet we got, I think we gotta go for that.
I will
Well,
say,
you can always
sorry, go ahead.
stay by, wait for Planin to come up with something. He's usually pretty resourceful in that regard.
Planin said he could negotiate with the entire alliance to try to keep her safe, but I don't know.
I don't know if
like
that's the
that.
smartest bet.
Yeah,
That's exactly it, though.
I trust Planin to have the right intentions, but I don't know how that would go down with, literally everyone else.
I will say, Planin would have said this as he was like giving you guys your room, that he is like a very well respected member of the Alliance. Like he does believe he could convince them to allow Annie to stay with them, if that's what you all need. Um, but in return,
It's
he,
a pretty big favor.
Yeah, we do something for him.
it's less of a favor, and he says it's most likely the case that you would have to join with the Alliance.
Ooh.
I want to ask Castor. He's got a lot more experience than any of us do with adventuring out into these lands. I think he's going to be taking care of her no matter what. I think we ask him what he thinks is the better bet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you ask Castor, and he says, as far as I'm concerned, I appreciate the offer of the monastery. However, that's very much in the center of the Empire almost. And as much as Annie, and like she's like taking a nap at this point, is not well suited to travel, it seems as if these people, while they do move around, aren't always on the move necessarily. And as I said when we were going over options last time, these people have managed to elude Empire detection for, and he like, looks back in the direction of where like Planin left you all. Like in the case of some of them, it seems decades, if not longer. We don't know exactly when this alliance was formed. Both seem like good options, but this one seems like it's further from the Empire.
I just keep thinking about how much Oberon would hate this. He would absolutely despise becoming indebted to yet another person. Yet I do tend to agree with you, Castor, that this seems, perhaps, like our wisest choice.
And as you all are like thinking about this, I'm gonna be a little mean. Tauros,
Oh.
you've been thinking a lot about like changing this place, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does Tauros feel about working with the Alliance?
He sure as hell isn't talking a lot right now, but it's not something he's against right now.
Let me get like just a litmus test. How is everyone feeling about working with the Alliance?
T is cautiously optimistic, extremely cautiously optimistic. She thinks everyone else is gonna hate it, but she's okay with it.
Well, Issa doesn't necessarily hate the idea because, he wants to help these people survive. But it's also like he knows what they did and how they're viewed, and he's just like, I've escaped another chain and I'm being put in another one. This is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
For Edgar, if this was just them trying to survive, he wouldn't have absolutely no issues with this. But with all the info he's just given Planin, he's really worried that they're gonna do the right thing and they're gonna try to push back and gain some kind of power in the situation. But he does not want Annie to get caught in any crossfire. He wants Annie to be as safe as possible. So he trusts these people as much as he would trust most, but he is still scared of, has he given them ammunition that might in the future get Annie in trouble if she can't get to safety.
Mm-hmm.
So he's conflicted for sure.
And I will say, you all don't know exactly how. You can all probably imagine that Oberon's grandfather wasn't exactly keyed in to who all was part of his group. But you all being here and, working to keep Annie safe does mark you all as potential fugitives from the Empire itself.
Mm-hmm.
The question of returning back to the Empire after getting Annie to safety is something you should I imagine you all are considering, as far as like, first of all, could you return to your life before this? But second of all, would you be okay with returning to your life before this? Is that the life you want to return to after all that you've kind of learned about the Empire?
In this, like, I feel like we're all kind of gone silent at this point of like not knowing. We're all just like kind of in our own minds. There's like kind of like a break of silence as Toros kind of takes his sword and just kind of like jams it into the ground, like without even like looking up. Just, I want change. I want to change. And I want to see things change. I can be okay with joining this cause.
How do you
Fucking
respond?
hate.
Sorry, go ahead.
I fucking hate everything we've heard about the Immortal Empress. Right now, also, I can't fucking stand Morrigan, if I'm being honest, from what I believe. I want to be able to tell stories of the half that I've lost for most of my life, and if that means fighting the Empire directly, I think y'all know I'm probably gonna do it.
I want to do the right thing for once. Finally make actual change and make life for everyone under the Empire's boot a lot better. I'm not going to abandon you guys ever. My friends, not leaving you outside for anything. So if you're in this fight, then I'm in it too.
I half joked before. If you want to run away from the Empire and become overthrowing adventurers, I'm in.
Finn.
Yeah.
We all heads in and we're just awkwardly waiting.
No, Finn's not been like he's giving you guys space when you guys wanted to go talk
Yeah.
about this. Like he
Yeah.
gave you guys space. He was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
feel
He's
like
not
I'm a
here.
bit out of
Yeah.
my circle in this one. This is a you guys thing.
Well,
I think we tell Planin. We ask that he stays here. And we don't go into this as being in debt. But for once, we make this choice. We say we want to work with them.
I
Yes,
like
sir.
that
We're an
idea.
asset. I think we can make some real change.
I think that's a good idea.
Hell yeah.
Let's go over to the Empire.
all right. And with that, I think this is where we end this episode of Dice Age.